Today I fucked up by being open and honest with my children.
Mom of 3 girls, 4, 6, 9, who all share a dad, currently 20 weeks pregnant with number 4, with my boyfriend.
Their stepmom is also about 24 weeks along with their brother. I've always taken a factual approach with reproduction and whatnot. They ask a question. I say, grab my anatomy book, let's talk about it. No different than when they ask how lungs work or kidneys. It's just another body function.
Vagina, vulva, and penis aren't bad words in my house. We're driving back from a day trip, having yelled at them for the 100th time to keep their hands to themselves.
Boyfriend and I are holding hands on the center console. 9 Yo says, hey, keep your hands to yourself.
6 Yo says, yeah. No touching, ever.
Then 9 Yo says, wait, they're having a baby, they did that thing.
Before screaming, daddy and stepmom did that thing.
And a chorus of girls screaming ew. I'm laughing so hard I can't breath. My boyfriend is turning bright red because while he thinks I'm right with why I approach it how I do, it's still weird to him. Then 6 Yo yells, Mommy, you did it with Daddy 3 times. Now I'm the one bright red and sushing them. Too long did not read. I've taken a factual approach about bodies to my children, and they used it against me. My mom was from Iceland. She too was very factual about reproduction. Asked about babies when I was 6.
At dinner table with 17-year-old bro's girlfriend at dinner.
She answered the questions as they came up. Penis, semen, vagina, egg, etc.
Now bro's girlfriend is freaking, my family is nonchalant. However, I went to Sunday school and in discussing Mary and conception, I informed everyone that God put his penis in Mary's vagina and that's how she got preggers.
Volunteer Sunday school teacher was having apoplexy. Kids were listening with mouths agape. I was thrown out of Sunday school evermore. I recently had the talk with my almost 10-year-old. She had a lot of questions, so I provided age-appropriate answers with medical names, etc.
After I explained intercourse, she took a minute. Then her eyes got real big.
Kid, so, to have me, you had to do that with Dad? Me. Well, that's how it happened for us, but not everyone has babies that way. Kid, I'm so sorry.
At Costco in the bathroom stall. Accompanied with my daughter that's in that stage between toddler, preschooler.
Mommy?
Why do you have hair down there?
Suddenly there was no sound, not even from the hand dryer. Take a deep breath and sigh, because I'm an adult of the species. Yeah, the lady beside us was knee-slapping with laughter. I'm missing something. Where's the fuck up in this story?
You rock.
I'm so glad you teach your kids the proper terminology.
When I was in grade 5 when we had sex education, I was the only kid who didn't laugh when the words penis or vagina were said. And I feel like that helped because, unlike a lot of kids, I actually learned something from those classes.
I was watching a movie with my older brother and dad that I was just too young for. One line when a guy wakes up from being unconscious was, I'm a premature ejaculator, and the other two break down laughing. I don't understand what's going on. I ask my dad what that means and he doesn't know what to say, so he says, ask your mother. Well, I did. I was a very inquisitive kid. She starts to explain it and I'm asking every question you can imagine. What does it mean to ejaculate? What does semen look like? What does it feel like? You name it, I asked. It was the most awkward conversation of my life, knowing what I know now. I give my dad shit for not being the one to field that question. Today I fucked up by forcing while constipated. Day 5, the pipes are clogged, not even gas is able to escape. The doctor, on day 4, said to take some laxatives, but they had no effect. My urge is great, the pressure is extreme, and the pain, my God, the pain. But then she said, whatever you do, let it come naturally, and don't force it, you don't want to hurt yourself. She also said go to the if nothing after morning attempt. So here I am, morning after taking a ton of laxatives the doctor gave me the day before, still nothing, except the laxatives. The next day, things felt way worse. I swear to God my stomach was twice its size, and I felt like it was going to explode. So I'm sitting on the toilet, approaching hour 3.5, I felt a bit of movement, and decided to finally push. Lo and behold, after 15 minutes of pushing, I get this huge relief. I finally had a crap.
Then came the spine-chilling feeling. My innards felt like ice. My spine went numb. My legs go numb. Thinking I was just sitting there too long, I go to wipe, and I hit something.
I stand up a bit to see something dangling from me. It was my own colon. I forced my asshole right out of my body. Freaked out by having a 1.5 female piece of asshole hanging out of me, I called an ambulance, and off to the hospital I went. I was in the hospital for a week. I saw my doctor who told me not to force. I told her what happened, and she said, "That's why I didn't want you to force. You have a chance to detach parts of your intestines and it can come out with the poo." Well shit. So here I am, 3 operations later, sitting on a donut for the next 6-8 weeks, shitting in a bag for the next 3. All because I forced when I shouldn't have. Too long did not read. I shit out my own ass. I can't unread this. I will never, ever push again. Congratulations for fucking up my day, week, month life. Holy fuck. I do hope you're healing well. For future reference, try magnesium citrate. It's really sour, so I recommend getting a flavor like lemon if you can find it. Also, if you have heartburn, then take heartburn medication, and drink plenty of water. Magnesium citrate makes me really nauseous, and the last thing I want to do is add more stuff to my tummy. But the water makes you feel less sick. You won't be able to stop pooping for hours. Thank you for your service, saluting face. Best too long did not read. Ever. My urge is great. The pressure is extreme. And the pain. My God, the pain. Lyrics by you, Ad Outrageous 2674. Today I fucked up and had to go to hospital with something stuck in my butt. Throw away for obvious reasons. Not today, but yesterday, I, female, mid-20s, had to go to the emergency room. Like the title suggests, I got something stuck in my ass. I can't believe I'm part of the notorious statistic now. After seeing memes and funny pictures for years, the Buzz Lightyear doll comes to mind. I've got a lot of self-reflecting to do. I'll share the experience in case anyone else unfortunately ends up in my situation, or maybe it helps prevent someone else from the same fate. I used a silicone egg toy, the same size as a regular egg. I learned yesterday to never, ever use anything without a handle or string in the rear. The vagina has muscles to stop things going places they shouldn't, but the anus has muscles that make it really difficult to get them out past the point of no return. 3 eggs went in, only 2 came out. I tried really hard to get it out myself too, but no use. Once something has gone past those muscles, even if you can feel it with your fingers, the chances are that you are not getting it out yourself if there is no way for you to grip it, and so you need to see someone who can get it out ASAP before it gets more serious. At least in my case, it was an item meant for self-pleasure and not something stranger, is what I've been telling myself to cope. The woman on reception in the emergency room, packed with about 30 other people sat around on chairs waiting, laughed when I told her. At first I said, "I've got something stuck inside me," and when she didn't hear, I mouthed it again, trying to draw as little attention from the audience as possible, and she understood. The nurse told me later I can just say, "personal problem," if I want to be discreet. So if you're ever in this situation, you can say, "personal problem," and not have to risk being overheard by a room full of people like I did. They take an X-ray to make sure it's really in there. This is at the point things become memes, I guess. They didn't keep me waiting long. I was actually bumped up the wait list a bit. Sorry to those people, but I suppose my problem was pretty easy to deal with quickly, as they had the entire what, where, when, and even asked me to pull up an image on my phone of the exact toy. I did from my Etsy order. "It's the small one," I said in reference to a picture of 3 different sized bite-colored eggs next to a soda can for perspective, to a doctor and 2 nurses. I realize how stupid this situation is, and if I wasn't so scared at that point, I probably would have been laughing. I was lucky the doctor could feel the egg with his finger, so it was within reach and could be shimmied out with forceps. Took a few attempts, a bit of discomfort, then hurt really bad when finally pulled out. I've never had constipation myself, but I've heard that with really bad constipation some people can pass out on the toilet from pain, and I imagine that's similar to the sensation I felt when they finally got it out. I thought I might have tore at the opening, and even I asked if I'd need stitches. Just a huge shock to my system, like I was going to pass out for a couple minutes, then completely fine ever since. I checked my butthole too and it looks completely normal, no tearing at the entrance at least.
I found out during my research in the waiting room, while bracing for the worst case scenario where I have to have surgery and call out of work and then explain all this to my family etc., that if they couldn't reach it with fingers and forceps they would have had to put me under general anesthetic and work it out while the muscles were completely relaxed. In particularly bad cases or when people leave it too long, surgery to remove the object may be needed and other complications like perforated bowel or infection can occur.
I got off lucky but have definitely learned my lesson, saw the light, and now feel it's my duty to spread the good word. Too long did not read. If you're going to stick things up your ass, make sure they're meant for the job and easily retrievable. An ex had to have an emergency MRI once and she could not get her clit piercing out. None of the nurses or doctors could either, so they had to call a guy from maintenance to cut it off. She was mortified when dude walked in with a toolbox.
That personal problem tip is probably going to be clutch for at least some of the people reading this, at some point.
So good on you, tears of joy. Head over to R Radiology on a Friday to see the other club members. So this might be a stupid question, but can't you poop it out? Or at least enough so you can grab it and do the rest manually?
Pro tip for OP or anyone else interested. You can safely use gelatin eggs for anal play, because they have a low enough melting point that your natural body heat will just melt them out if you don't pop them out right away. Just stay away from sugary gelatin mixes and stick to plain unflavored gelatin powder.
Primal Hardware sells various egg molds and ovipositor toys, if you're feeling extra freaky, and has instructions on how to make them on their site. Basic gelatin eggs, Primal Hardware. And this is why the ovipositor uses gelatin for the egg molds.
If it ever gets stuck, they dissolve.